Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing amazing. This is your favorite Agile Evangelist, Karen Fomafung, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we shall be talking about one of the most relevant, necessary, but yet overlooked skill set of an Agile practitioner. And what is that? Facilitation. Most Scrum Masters struggle with facilitation. And when we talk about facilitation, it's really not all about facilitating the Scrum events. That's really not what it's all about. So today, I'm just going to share with you some information based on my experience and how I have been doing it and what's important to me as a facilitator. Well, my desire for you all is that by the end of this video, every one of you should take home at least one or two important facilitation points that will help you improve your facilitation skill set. Now, before we dig into the flesh of this video, if this is your first time here, you're very welcome. And here we talk about project management, product development, specifically the Agile way of working and its frameworks, focusing on Scrum, sometimes Kanban, and the kind of information we share here, trust me, you can hardly ever find that kind of raw information from anywhere else. So the whole purpose of this, what we do here on this platform, is so that we all can continuously learn and grow in this Agile space. Thank you so much. And if you're a returning subscriber, if you're a returning viewer, as always, you're very appreciated. Thank you for your continuous love and for your continuous support. Now, what do we mean in the first place by facilitation? Facilitation is really you helping to run or drive whatever event that is in place. And like I said earlier, it's not all about the Scrum events. One of the stands of a professional Agile coach is facilitation. Out of the 4 stands of professional coaching, which means that if you are a Scrum Master or an Agile practitioner, facilitation skills is not optional for you. It is mandatory. That is how important it is. But for some reasons, this particular stance has always been overlooked, but yet I find a lot of Scrum Masters struggling with even understanding what facilitation is all about. Not to even talk of executing or implementing facilitation in an effective and efficient manner, you see. So now, the areas that an Agile practitioner expresses their facilitation skills should be, number 1, obviously, the events in Scrum. That is, if you're a Scrum Master, the Scrum events. Yes, it is your accountability to be the key facilitator of these events. It doesn't mean that you have to be the only one doing it, but yes, you have to ensure that it is done and it is done effectively. And then outside of the key events of Scrum, another big facilitation opportunity for you as a Scrum Master is conflict resolution. To me, this one is key. And the reason is because for some reasons, Agile practitioners or Scrum Masters, or even the people hiring them, they're thinking that these Agile practitioners have to be some form of conflict resolutors. That is why, even on their job description, you see they're asking for someone, a good conflict resolute, someone who is very effective in conflict resolution. Or problem solver, a good problem solver. Yes, that's how they put it. A good problem solver. If I, as a recruiter, I'm going through your resume and I see that you capture one of your skill sets as a good problem solver, I'm already start being skeptical about you, because truly you are not a problem solver as an Agile practitioner. You know, a leader who serves, which is what they call in those days servant leadership, it's quite unique and it's different. We don't see problem solving for a leader as a good thing. You see, because we think that, oh, it's been proven that you being a problem solver, you stand in the way of the people you are serving to be able to think for themselves. You see, to be able to become self-organizing and self-managing, which at the end of the day, that is your goal. So the kind of person I'll be looking for as a recruiter or a hiring manager would be a problem exposer. While you help expose the problems, you want to be able to guide the people through the resolution of this problem, which is where your facilitation skills come into play. So yes, outside of the Scrum events, you serving as a facilitator, that is also a perfect opportunity where you facilitate. So you facilitate conflict resolution. That's really what you're doing. And you're doing that through powerful questioning. You see, you're doing that through powerful questioning. Another opportunity where you want to express your facilitation skills outside of the standard Scrum events and conflict resolution is workshop sessions. You want to be able to facilitate workshop sessions. You want to be able to facilitate any organizational meeting, that is contributing to the agile growth in your organization. You see, so those are some of the standard facilitation opportunities right there for you. So the reason why I'm pointing all these areas where you would want to express your facilitation skills is because most Scrum Masters think that when you hear of facilitation, you're facilitating the Scrum event. That's really not what it is all about. Yeah, that's part of it, but that's not what it's all about. Now that you have a clear understanding of some of the opportunities for facilitation, now how do you successfully execute that? Or how do you successfully implement your facilitation skill? So, first of all, as a facilitator, if an event is coming up, regardless of the event that's coming up, for you to ensure that the meeting or whatever the occasion is productive, effective, and efficient, I already start planning ahead. You have to be proactive. Proactiveness is one of your secret weapons. You see, so for example, let's say that I'm introducing a sprint review meeting to my team. They've not been practicing this event before, and then I want them to start doing it. I'm not just bringing it and then put it right out to them and then expect them to contribute or be engaged in that meeting. And your meeting will not be, regardless of your facilitation skills. Trust me, if your team is not engaged, you will not yield the result you're looking for. So what am I supposed to do? First of all, I am supposed to make sure that my team or the people or my audience, my target audience, are aware of what's forthcoming. You see, so I'm already start advertising that event. I'm socializing it to them through various platforms. It may be through word by mouth. It may be through our organization announcement portal, newsletter. It may be through standard emails. It may be through chat. Whatever I find appropriate in my organization, per my organization standards, that's what I'm leveraging to start socializing my events, to start socializing whatever is upcoming, so that way their mind is already prepared. They're prepared psychologically, and in my communication, whatever I'm communicating out to them, I'm letting them know what I'm expecting from them for us to be successful. And then I'm letting them know as well what they should be expecting from me as a facilitator. I'm also letting them know the purpose of whatever this is and what they'll be getting out of it. So those are some of the key things that I am socializing to these people. I'm communicating to them. And while I am doing that, I leave room for questions, so that anything that is not clear, it should be cleared before the actual event. Okay, there are also times when not all the events or the meetings have the structure of it may not necessarily require an agenda or a standard agenda. For example, if it's supposed to be, let's say, a lean coffee format meeting, I am letting them know in advance that this meeting is going to be a lean coffee format, so that they are not coming and expecting some agenda and then they don't find one. Already they start creating perception, and with that, or negative perception, and then they start really getting disengaged in their mind. You see, so if it's supposed to be an event that there is not supposed to be an agenda in advance, yes, the same way, I would socialize this to them as well and letting them know in advance that this is going to be the format for this meeting. So that's why we do not have any agenda set, because we are hoping to create our agenda together, so I'm letting them know. Now, once that is done and we are looking forward to the actual events, what are you doing? I'm making sure that I'm prepared in advance. I'm making sure that I know my game. I'm making sure that I'm on top of my stuff, so that when I go to the meeting, I'll be able to flow seamlessly and I'm not babbling. That's very important. You see, if I need any form of assistance from anyone, any co-facilitator, I am asking for that help. And proactively, I'm making sure that I'm connecting with this person so that we can conduct some form of dry run, especially if it's a really new activity. I'm making sure that we are conducting some dry run so that by the time we get to the actual events, everyone, as facilitators and co-facilitator, we already have clarity on who is doing what, you see. So that is just some of the things that I am doing. Now, don't just run to a meeting without coordinating your materials, coordinating your thoughts, coordinating how you would facilitate, visualizing the expected outcome of the meeting. Don't do that, because when you come across as not being prepared, your team members already will not take you seriously. And you that they are looking up to as the master of Scrum, because that's why they call you a Scrum Master, you that you're looking up to and they are looking up to, you come to these meetings without being prepared. How do you expect them to take it seriously or to take you seriously? You see, that way they will not see any reason why they should devote their valuable time or be engaged in these meetings. They will not see any reason, you see. So to make sure that you are on top of your game and to reflect the importance of these meetings, if it's that important to you, you will make sure you always want to be proactive with being prepared. Typical examples on how you want to be prepared. If, let's say, a sprint planning is coming up, you want to ensure that you have proactively connected with your PO and make sure the backlog is ready. You see, make sure that the backlog is healthy enough, rather than connecting for a sprint planning meeting and it's live during a meeting that you all want to start prioritizing the backlog and ranking the backlog and writing user stories live in the sprint event. They will not take you seriously. Time is precious and people don't like wasting time, you see. So that's just a typical example. And let's assume that it's a retro session. You want to take time, like 1 to 2 days before the retro. Make sure your board is ready. Make sure that the activity that you want to use as an icebreaker is already ready. Set up all these things and proactively send them the link to the retro board so that they can go in there and start generating their thoughts proactively. That's just an example of being prepared. So again, on this prepared point, always make sure that you're 1-2 steps ahead so that when you're connecting for those meetings, you will just flow seamlessly. Your thoughts will just flow seamlessly. And it takes preparedness to be able to achieve that. That's how important this is, you see. Now, the technique that I usually use to ensure that my team members stay engaged during our official Scrum event is I put on my facilitation game. I turn on that facilitation game, you see. So before we connect for any Scrum event, I'm ensuring that everyone knows their place, everyone knows their role during this event. If I have to proactively connect with stakeholders to help them understand what the expectations are from them during this event, especially, for example, a sprint review event, I would do that. There was a time when I even had to proactively connect with my director of software engineering, you see, just to help him understand, because based on our conversations, I realized that he didn't really have a clear understanding of their role during the Scrum events, because I joined the organization at that time where they were not even practicing no Scrum, they were only practicing daily Scrum. All the other events they were not practicing. So I introduced these meetings to them in addition to the sprint review. So I realized that the engineering manager did not have a good understanding on what they should be doing in this event, you see. So I had to close that gap by proactively connecting with them to understand that to make sure that they have an understanding of what we're expecting of them during this event, you see. And now, once we connect for these events, a good facilitator would ensure that they are setting that stage right. You see, they are setting that stage by clearly communicating the purpose of this meeting, communicating the time box of the meeting, communicating the intended outcome of the meeting. You see, those are the things that I would typically make sure that I use to set that stage. With that, everyone have an understanding on what we are looking to get out of this meeting and why we are holding this meeting. You see, so those are the things that I would do. And then as I'm facilitating, I'm not wasting time. That is what a good facilitator should be thinking. You don't want to be efficient in your meetings. Don't just dwell on a point and just remain on that point. No, unless everyone agrees that they want to stay and make this conversation longer on that specific point with that understanding of the impact that will cause on the other agenda items for that meeting. You see, so I'm not wasting time. We make sure we keep moving. You see, and then I make sure that everyone is doing what they are supposed to be doing. For example, if someone demonstrates an increment, you see, as stakeholders, we are not really getting the feedback that we're looking for. I am provoking that. So I will clearly communicate, okay, great. Does anyone have any question for this, call the team member's name that has demonstrated this event, this increment? So what do you think? What's the feedback you have for us? Because that's really what we're looking for. We see feedback as a gift. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm putting that facilitator hat on to make sure that the meeting is efficient. No, we're not wasting time. We are respecting people's opinion and everyone feels heard. Making sure that everyone have a chance to speak up, to air their voice and share their thoughts. That's really critical. And make sure that I create that environment of psychological safety where everyone is open enough. They feel like they have the freedom to speak or not to speak. If they choose to not speak, it's not because they are afraid to speak up. They would not be speaking because they feel that they have the freedom to speak or not speak. That's the kind of safety I am creating as a facilitator. So with that, you will see that the engagement of your teams and your stakeholders, it will accelerate. Yeah. So the last but not the least tips, which is really, really important, but most of the time we neglect it, you see. Before I share this last tip with you all, just a reminder, that here at Being Agile, we help organizations, we help teams, we help individuals to succeed in Agile. So if you are looking to transition into this Agile career path, you are not sure how to go about it, you don't have a clue, you've just been doing research here and there, you don't have a coordinated, well-structured knowledge or training, which is critical in your journey, reach out to us. We have great customized training programs that have been designed to help people understand the concept and earn a certification, an accredited certification from there. So go to the description box and get that information right there, and we're glad to help you. If you're in between just having a certification and landing the job, you've been in the job market for a while, you're getting frustrated, or you even give up thinking that Scrum is probably not for you, my friend, something is missing. Reach out to us. We will gladly help you achieve that dream of becoming an awesome Scrum Master. And last but not the least, if you're already on the job struggling, you're looking to really be valuable to your organization as an Agile Coach, a Scrum Master, a release train engineer, please reach out to us and we'll be so glad to help you add value. So visit our website today to learn more about the services that we offer. Thank you so much. Now, the last but not the least point, I make sure that at the end of every meeting, I conduct a quick retro. I usually conduct a quick retro for all my Scrum events. You see, I retro on all of my Scrum events. It mustn't be an official retro where you have all these boards and stuff like that. No, I'm just quickly asking them. At the end of our retro, I'll quickly conduct maybe a 1 or 2 minute retro on the retrospective meeting. Just asking the team's opinion on what they think and how can we improve on our retro, you see. So I'll just do that. And then even at sprint planning, at the end of our sprint planning, I would quickly conduct a 2 minute retro asking them what they think about the sprint planning, and what are, if they have any idea, if they can share their thought on any immediate action item we can implement to make it better next time. You see, even if it's a workshop session, regardless of what it is, even if it's a little training that I did, I am conducting retro because I see feedback as a gift. I really think that's really the only way, one of the only ways, is that even a thing, that we can improve, you see. So I always make sure that I ask feedback. I ask for feedback at every given opportunity so that we can continuously reflect what Agile stands for: continuous learning and continuous improvement. So out of the rich toolbox you already have, I suggest just try mine. Try some of these tips that I've mentioned today and see if it will be valuable to you and your team. Hope this session was helpful. Hope you learned one thing or two. And as always, you know that this is a free space where you can share your thoughts, and I'm always very curious to know what you think. Leverage the comment section. Drop your thoughts there so that we can continuously learn and grow in this beautiful Agile journey. Thank you so much. Again, this is Karen Fomafung, your favorite Agile Evangelist. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.